That's why it is always the subjective. That is, it can change according to the person, it can change according to the situation. The principles, I told you, right? The elements of things, the principle, reliability, all those things. You should always have a principle and moral values. Very differently, it is given that the business ethics always go for few of the top management committee. Should I do it or I shouldn't do it? If I do it, what is the consequences? If I don't do it, what are the consequences? Therefore, their involvement in ethics programs becomes a must. That is, it should be mandatorily done. That is how you are supposed to. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Vidhyaashram from the Department of Business Studies in Vidhyaashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to the next session, that is session number 8 of Social Responsibility of Business and Business Ethics. In this chapter, we all went with the social responsibility. Now it is a concept of what is business ethics. Now, ethics is something to do with morality. For somebody, the ethics may be different. For somebody else, it is totally different. Now, here what it does is, whenever we go with the business ethics, the concepts are very clear. What is ethically correct for me cannot be ethically correct for you. That's why it is always the subjective. That is, it can change according to the person, it can change according to the situation, and it can change accordingly how you will take it. So here business ethics are commonly known as, and enterprises may be very good in terms of economic performance. Economic performance, they are really good. That means they are making profit, right? So economically, they are very, very strong. But what here happens is poor in terms of social performance. Social performance, they are really not so good. Like supplying product of reasonable quality and at reasonable prices, yes, they will not do it. Now, there are few companies, economically they are really good, as well as socially also they are very good. But when you compare the equation between economic and social, then you will understand that they are actually taking so much from the society, but when it comes to giving back to the society, they aren't doing the same thing. So here you need to understand that, are they really have that ethics, the morality, the moral values which they carry or which they should carry. The government of India has taken so many responsibilities, so many kind of regulations, and they have put to the business. Only because of those regulations and rules, the business firms are doing something for the society. But the reality is, without regulation, without the government keeping them remind, it is their duty as a business entrepreneurs, business enterprises, business ventures, that they are exploiting the general public resources. Now, what is that they should do? They should return something to the society. That is what their ethical values are. But there are companies who are not doing it. But still, you should always go for the right one, that is a good one, that is good face of few of the business enterprise who does so much for the society without any regulation, without anybody's rule or without anybody consent. They are the one who is taking initiative. Now here the subject matter of ethics is concerned with establishing linkages between individual good and social good. That is, you should be individually good as well as you need to be social good. So that is what the business ethics aims at. Concept of business ethics. What are the concept of business ethics? Now I have given you here a picture where you are supposed to understand what exactly it is. Now, business ethics should be your choice. You need to choose that, yes, I should have ethics in my life. And business ethics is all about morality. You will actually always, you will go with your moral consciousness, saying that should I do it or I shouldn't do it? If I do it, what is the consequences? If I don't do it, what are the consequences? You should always go with your morality, that if you can make somebody happy, if you can make some business enterprises ethically happens, right, and that how everybody are happy, then you are supposed to do it. It's all 100% behavioral. What is it? 100%. It is behavioral. It should come within you. Next one is, it's all of principles. You should have a set of principles. You should have what? Set of principles. And then business ethics is also about trust. It's not that it's only you who have ethics. The person whom you are dealing with also should have the same business ethics. Only then it can go for a real good one, or else it will be a toss. And business ethics is not just what you should do. It should always be your responsibility. You are the one who should take initiative and do it. And if you do it, what happens is, the relationship is for a long term, not for a short term. Students, you need to understand that business ethics is not just for one day or 1 month or for 1 year. It's not like an eye wash where you will tell the public that you are doing so much for the society. After 1 year, you aren't doing anything. If you start doing this business ethics kind of a thing, the relationship with your customer, relationship with your shareholders, your stock market friends, anybody, whoever it is, right? The people who have given you credits, the people who have taken loan from you, the people whom you have taken loan, the debenture holders, preference holders, everybody will actually congratulate you because you are the one who is keeping that relationship and that ethics, and then you are moving. So relationship will be very good. And it is also reliability will be more. Now, business ethics is not just about concern of few ethical moral values. It's all about the holistic kind of a behavior. So it is what the first one, the choice should be what? It is your choice. And the best choice is what? You should have business ethics, morality, behavioral. That to 100% it is behavioral. Set of principles. You should always go for few principles which are really good. Don't think about only making profit as your responsibility. You should always start giving people what exactly you have. And the trust, responsibility, relationship, reliability, everything will be maintained only through business ethics. So business ethics is very, very important, and you should always go for ethical values. Now, business ethic refers to socially determined moral principles which should govern business activity. In the same way, business ethic concerns itself with the relationship between business objectives, practices, and techniques and the good of society. That is what it is. One is what? One is relationship. Relationship. Then that's the first one. The second one here is practices, and the third one is techniques. So these are the things which you are supposed to know. And the last one, being the fourth one, is you will have a good relationship with society. That is the main thing. Society. You will have a very good relationship with society. So these are the concept of business ethics. So let's go with the next one, that is the elements of business ethics. You need to understand the elements of business ethics. The first one here is top management commitment. So the first one is what? The top management commitment. You should always know that the level of management, which is divided top level, middle level, and supervisor level. The entire level of management depends on the nature and size of a business. So the top level are the one who will start doing planning. They are the one who will actually go for planning. Whatever the things are there, strategies, planning, the tasks should be given to everybody. Who will decide? The top level will decide. So the top management commitment is what? to have business ethics. It's not the supervisor level or the middle level who will set the standards or the business ethics. It is the top level management who will plan and they'll go for it. Next is publication of a code. You need to understand what is the meaning of code. I'll tell you what exactly a code is all about. Then establishment of compliance mechanism. Now here the mechanism you are supposed to always go with an establishment, that how a company should actually perform, involving employees at all levels. Yes, this is the very beautiful nature, that is, though they are supervisory or middle level, they are supposed to give the suggestions, and that is what that business ethics is all about. And then the last one is measuring results. It's not just somebody is planning, somebody is managing. It should also be what, whether it has been practiced or not. That is the real thing of business ethics. First one is the top management commitments. Yes, the top level should actually plan for it. Second is publication of a code. They should always go with a code of conduct, how exactly to be run. And then establishment of compliance mechanisms, and then you have involving employees at all the levels, and the last one is measuring results. So the first one, let's check what exactly the top management's commitment is. Now you need to understand that the top management should always go for a proper promise that how they need to move, how they need to work, how the work culture should be, because business ethics, I told you, it's a subjective kind of a thing. That is, for some company, whatever they are doing, it is ethically correct, but for the competitor, it may not be ethical. Top management has a crucial role in guiding the entire organization. See, to run any company, the top management will actually have a stress, and they need to manage the stress, and then they are supposed to run the organization towards ethical, upright behavior. To achieve results, the chief executive officer, that is CEO, the chief executive officer, and other higher level managers need to be openly and strongly committed to ethical conduct. So only when they are ethically, they will practice the business will actually be run, or else what happens is unethical practice can also influence the business, and the business, whatever they do, will be adverse, and the results, as you people will know, is economically they'll be strong, but when it comes to societal aspects, they'll be weak. That's why the managers and the professionals, that people who are in the top level, they should always get a sense of being responsible and ethical. Now the second one is publication of a code. Now they should always go for what? They need to go for a proper code. Enterprises with effective ethics programs do define the principles. I told you, right? The elements of thing, the principle, reliability, all those things. You should always have a principle and moral values, principles of conduct of the whole organization. It's not just the individual, how they are supposed to be. From the CEO till the security guard, you are supposed to have a code of conduct, and in the form of a written document, how they are supposed to be. Everything should be what? A written document should be there. Everywhere, everything should be written. It's not a kind of policy, but again, we call it as a code, referred to as a code. So code is always what? Code is always a written document. It is what? It's a written document. That is called code. Now we have establishment of compliance mechanisms. What is it? In order to ensure that actual decisions and actions comply with the firm's ethical standards, suitable mechanism should be established. Everything should be what? It should be established. Example, let me tell you. Paying attention to values and ethics in recruiting and hiring. Emphasizing corporate ethics in training. See, I'll tell you what it is. I'll give you an example of this, the same one which I have told you actually. Now, HR is sitting and they want to recruit a person. Now, that HR should not discriminate the candidate on the basis of gender, creed, caste, or even the color. Now what happens is, they should be ethically, they should go for a proper recruitment. Usually what happens in the government companies or the government department, usually because of some referral, somebody actually call and they will tell that you are supposed to select these people, or bribery, all those things. What usually happens is they don't select the right person for a right job. So here, if you have the ethics, you will actually go for who is the person who is best suitable for the job. Only those people you will hire it. That is what the mechanism which always speaks. Next is we have involving employees in all levels. You should always take suggestions from your employees. Only then your employees will feel that they are being taken care, they are actually being listened, they are actually being heard. So that is how they go with it. It is the employee that is at different level who implement ethics policies to make ethical business a reality. See, I told you about this top, middle and supervisor. Now top level, middle level, supervisor level. Now whatever the ethics are all done, the code is done, it is done by top level. But even he or they would have actually missed few of the things. Now they need to take the suggestion from the middle level as well as supervisor level, because even they know what exactly the business practices or business ethics practices should be carried in their office. Therefore, their involvement in ethics programs becomes a must. That is, it should be mandatorily done. That is how you are supposed to go. The next one here is measuring results. How will you measure those results? On what basis you will actually go with those measuring the results? I'll tell you what here, students. Try to analyze. Even after your course is all done, the last phase is your examination. What is that your examination does? It actually measures how much you have taken seriousness about your career as well as the particular examination. Same way here also. Although it is difficult to accurately measure. That means what? Accurately you can't measure whether they are practicing the business ethics or not. The end result of ethics programs, the firm can certainly audit to the monitor compliances with the ethical standards. Now they can't measure properly, like how they measure the weight. They can't measure because it's all about how qualitatively you are using your business ethics. Whether it is benefiting the society, benefiting you, benefiting somebody else, are you in a healthy competition with your competitors? All those things are what? The moral values which you have and the ethical values which you have. That will be actually shown, and that is a must, and you can only check the ethical standards. See, there are so many companies, like lakhs together, there are so many companies, but why is that you only remember 10 to 15 companies? The reason being what? They are ethically, they have a beautiful concept called business ethics, and that is the reason you people know them. The more and more people talk about negativity of a business, you will get to know that the business ethics is absent in their company. Now for you, there is a homework that which are the company where business ethics are less followed, and which are the company where business ethics are more, it is followed. You are supposed to just comment us, and thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you.